How many days has it been on Duolingo for you?
159.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we keep this in there?
No.
Hi, I'm Kirsten.
And I'm Allie.
And you're listening to
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in today to our very first real episode. I'm eating a Slim Jim.
I hate it. People don't want to hear you chewing.
They can't hear me. I'm far away.
Okay. What did you do this week, Kirsten?
Well,
Besides us recording a whole 45-minute episode and then it erasing.
Yeah, so that was really bullshit, and I blame Spotify, really. If you guys have tried this new Spotify for Creator app, it's bogus. Just kidding. It's kind of working.
It's working now, but what the hell?
Yeah, I think it was ad blocker.
Also bogus. So 90s.
Did I say bogus?
Yeah.
I didn't realize I said that.
Yeah.
In any case, this week was a pretty normal week. I'm going to try really hard not to complain about work because that's so boring. But yeah, I don't know. I've been taking the shroom chocolates, microdosing, and that's been nice.
Are you happier?
I think so.
Okay.
I also got some mushroom coffee, which is a different type of shroom.
It's not the psychedelic,
not the
shroomy shrooms.
Not the magic kind, but it's magic in other ways.
Oh, because it's good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Like lion's mane. See, this is crazy because I'm like, do I say the same things that I said 45 minutes ago?
You have to.
I talked about lion's mane.
Well, I'm going to pretend like I never heard about it.
Well, lion's mane. Well, you knew about it before.
I did, but I'm just saying, I'm going to pretend like everything you're saying is new to me.
Yeah, so lion's mane is known for like its medicinal qualities, helps with your memory and stuff, and then I think the other one is chaga. It has collagen and L-theanine in it.
What's the second one?
L-theanine is supposed to help with anxiety. It's also been known if you mix L-theanine with caffeine, it's really good for ADHD.
Oh, well, we all need that.
So anyway, I've been drinking that and eating some mushroom chocolates and been having some weird dreams.
Ooh, yeah. I love some weird dreams. Tell us about the weird dreams.
Well, I'll tell you. It was way better the first time I told it.
Yeah, because
you're not gonna be surprised by the. Okay, so
okay, I'll pretend.
Okay, so I, for some reason, was working for Apple in this dream, and they're doing like a convention, and it was like, you know, one of those like employee, everybody has to go type of thing, and we all had to fly out to San Francisco, and we had the executives and the lower people, and I'm pretty sure I was like lowest of the low. But that's not the point. The point was there's this girl who was like, I think I'm gonna bomb the place. And it was like we were staying at an Airbnb. It was like, yeah, the convention was like inside the Airbnb. I don't know. But she was like, yeah, I'm gonna bomb the place. And it was like a firecracker / bomb. You know, like dreams do that kind of like weird mixture of thing. And so she put the firecracker in this girl's butt, this other girl's butt.
Just a casual butt bomb.
Just a casual butt bomb. And she was like, well, it's because you're a hoe. And
now we're slut shaming.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain just came up with this. I don't know why. And yeah, and so then it's like it turns into me like watching it like third person, like I'm in the room, but like I'm not being affected by the bomb because it's like an actual bomb that goes off. Okay. And you just see like this girl, like one of the girls, like her head flies into the wall, and then like the butt girl like explodes, and I'm like watching this vividly.
This is dramatic.
It's my dream, and then there's
dramatic.
Like the basement and the concrete is like cracking. And then, like, the end of the dream was, like, pretty normal because you expect the executives not to be helpful at all. And they were just like, all right, we're checking out of the Airbnb and we're canceling the rest of the weekend. So I hope you guys have somewhere to stay. And we're just like, oh, okay.
So stressful, traumatic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that sounds crazy. Do you think it's because of your weed chocolates?
No, you
I
mean my
mean,
shroom chocolates?
yeah, your shroom chocolates.
Yeah, I guess it would be more likely for weed chocolates to have like a weird. I don't know. But in any case, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I feel like I do not need those for my dreams.
well.
No, because I have the craziest, most vivid dreams almost every single night. And I would hate to know like what my brain would come up with on shroom chocolates.
Well, I would like for mine to be like a little more like beautiful
Yeah.
and creative, but instead it was like this is like a thing that could happen in real life, and
I mean,
here
I
you
don't know
go.
about. Well, I guess people could put bombs up their butts.
Yeah, but I guess like the firecracker slash bomb thing was the only like non-realistic thing because like
Yeah.
they're two different things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean
Sounds
that was
crazy.
that, and yeah. How about you, Rika?
I think the only thing exciting I did this week was we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Nice.
Volume 3.
Volume 3.
We went to the Chinese theater, which
I've never
is
been. I've never been like inside.
I had
Or
never been either. 7 years in LA, but I live down the street.
I didn't like to be honest. I didn't know that it was like an actual theater. Like I thought it was like a
I didn't
museum
either.
or something.
Same. And then my partner was like, "No, we can actually go there." So we got D-box tickets, which weren't even that much expensive,
Yeah,
like
how
more
much were they?
expensive. I don't know because he bought them, but
Oh.
they weren't. I think they were like less than $20, is what I
Oh, okay,
gathered.
nice.
But it was really cool because the D-box seats like move with the movie and they vibrate when things happen, and I mean it's pretty much the whole time because even if you're just like calmly floating in space,
Yeah.
it feels like you're floating in space. So something's always happening. And they were a lot more powerful than I expected because halfway through the movie I had to turn my experience down, which you have like a little knob where
Yeah.
you can turn it all the way down or off or whatever, all the way up. I had to turn it down because I was getting motion sickness from all the moving.
But that just like turns the movement down, right? It's not like a volume. Like, does it have like other features?
No,
Like,
just the movement of the chair.
oh, okay.
But then at the end, I had to turn it back up because I was like, "This is the end. This is the climax. I gotta feel all
Was
this
it like
shit."
3D too? Like, were you wearing glasses?
We were not. I don't really like 3D movies unless it's like made for 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was really cool. It was really fun, and that movie is probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Like,
That's cool.
definitely my favorite MCU movie, but I mean, it was just so like to me, it was so freaking good. Like,
What's MCU?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, Marvel. Your favorite Marvel.
Kirsten is not a nerd.
Allie, like, would you have known MCU like
No, I
before you
didn't.
started? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's that?" So you're right. I'm sorry for judging you. But it's really
I've heard of
good.
Marvel, but it's not MCU.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's really serious. It's a whole thing. And it was really good. I cried. I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat.
You almost shat your pants. Sorry.
When?
That didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. Not this time.
Oh, okay,
Not this
that's
time.
good.
But I mean, honestly, I kind of almost did shat my pants because it was so like crazy.
It sounds good. I definitely I'm down to go see it if you want to go again.
I would love to go again.
And
I know you don't really like superhero movies, but
yeah.
this one's different.
I mean, I liked Guardians of the Galaxy, like the first one, and I liked the soundtrack. And I've been on Spotify We keep plugging Spotify. Yo, Spotify, sponsor us.
Yo.
Sponsor us. Also Modelo, because we're drinking Modelo.
We're drinking Modelo.
And Trulies.
And
Trulies. And
eating a Slim Jim.
El Pollo Loco. Not eating that.
But there's a drink here.
Yep. All right.
Anyway.
In any case, yeah.
Oh,
I would like to watch that at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
We can make a little day of it.
Aw.
I do want to tell our listeners what happened to us before we started recording the podcast.
Yeah. Speaking of MCU, motherfucking crazy.
Ultra weirdo. Well, we can try to make this a short story, but basically we're recording this at our friend's house because she's out of town, and Kirsten is watching her cat. Shouts out to Rosie. She's a beautiful cat.
Ro.
We love her. But I was sitting outside of the house on the stoop waiting for Kirsten to get there, only for like 5 minutes. I wasn't there very long, but this weirdo comes up to me. First of all, he's like pacing around like through the apartment complex.
And this is like a locked, like gated situation.
Apartment complex.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me and he's like, hey, first he's very mumbly. I don't know what he's saying to me. But he's like, hey, do you smoke cigarettes? I was like, no. He's like, do you smoke weed? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you want to smoke some weed right now? And I was like, no, not with you. Like, who are you? And also, I'm not trying to get, like, killed or laced. Weed is laced.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't,
And you're also, like, sitting out there alone, kind of
trapped.
Yeah,
by myself. And then he, like, walks out of the apartment complex, like, outside of the gate. And then Kirsten shows up. And when I let Kirsten in, they both walk in. And I'm like, whatever. He was already in here before. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
And I thought he was, like, waiting on a friend. Like, I asked him, I was like, are you waiting on a friend? And then he bummed a cigarette from me. And then I, like, came to sit by you to finish the cigarette. And he, like, walked off in the other direction towards, like, the alley. He's still, like, inside the gate area, though. And I, like, saw him, like, light up a cigarette. But he's still just, like, standing there.
Just, like, lingering around.
Yeah.
And then he comes and, like, kneels next to us. Like, squats next to us.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's your all's names? And I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Rachel.
Yeah, so that's our alter egos today. But I'm not giving you my real name.
No.
Like, I'm trying to stay alive.
You're sketchy.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt until, like, this part. Really.
I don't like to judge people on, like, just right off the bat.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, maybe he did live here. Maybe he was waiting on his friend.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Whatever. I was not that worried until he was, like, kind of silent for a minute. And then he's like, have y'all called the law yet? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, have y'all called the law? And I was like, we don't mess with the law. What are you talking about? Why would we call the law?
Yeah.
Why are you worried that we've called the law? Like, what are you talking about? And it was just really weird. It threw us off. And he asked again if we wanted to smoke. And we were like, no.
The answer's still no.
And then he was asking us, like, why we were here.
Yeah, and so we're like, oh yeah, we're visiting our friend, blah,
visiting
blah, blah.
our friend. And then Kirsten's like, why are you here? And he's like, why do you want to know?
No, I think I was like, oh, are you visiting your friend?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you were like very casual about it.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, but he gave like a mumbly answer.
Yeah,
he was like mumbling this whole time.
Hear him
yeah, but he was like, yeah, like, why do you want to know? Like, accusing us of, like, thinking he's sketchy.
Like, but you were asking us the same question.
Yeah.
And then he said he was waiting for his Uber, which is not the story he told us earlier. It was just weird. We're safe. We're inside. Doors are locked. Windows locked. Like, we're fine. But it was just one of those things that were like, great. I'm just sitting here existing. Can you please not kill me?
Yeah. I feel like And this kind of stuff happens to me almost every day because I ride the red line, so I'm kind of,
which
like,
is
desensitized to
which
it, but
is a
it's
sub
like
with our subway system in LA,
yes. And it's,
for
the
those of you
red
that
line
didn't
is
know.
the worst one. It is
It really
literally the worst.
is.
There's, like I like, probably twice a month, if not more, I see somebody just, like, smoking crystal meth, like, casually,
Yeah.
like, on the red line, like, I've seen people pull out knives, like,
People get in
it's
fights.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that just happened to us and it was so fun.
Mhm.
But this episode, so we decided this episode we are going to deep dive into our sexuality.
Yeah, and so this has to do with the previous topic because it's like men. That's a
Men.
stretch. It's a stretch.
No, it's a stretch, but this episode is going to be about our sexuality. So Kirsten and I both, like, what we both bonded on when we
Mhm.
first met
One
was
of the things,
one of
yeah.
the things, yeah.
One of the many
One of the
things,
many things.
including butt plugs. Just kidding. I just, like, looked at this thing and it looked like a butt plug. What is this? Oh, it's like a
Oh,
vape.
it's, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Butt plugs were not involved. Um, but we are both bisexual.
Yeah.
But do you consider yourself bisexual or pansexual?
See, that's
Because
always like, yeah.
people get kind of up in arms about the two
Yeah, it is, like,
difference.
a debatable topic, I feel like, especially, like, within the community, like, um, when I first okay, so this is a part I didn't mention when we recorded this the first time, but, like, when I first learned the word pansexual, I was really annoyed by it because I thought it was pretentious. I was like, "You
Mhm.
guys are just, like, making up a new word for a thing that already exists, and,
Mhm.
like, you're being dumb about it." But now I do kind of understand that there's a distinction, like, with the gender thing, and technically bisexual means 2, and
There's more
there's
than
more than 2
two
genders,
genders.
but I still identify as bi because that's just what I've always known it as, and, like,
Yeah.
that's, like, the language that I've come to, like, use. And I think that also, like, the word bisexual has evolved to mean all genders and for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
The way I
yeah.
see it is if I'm bisexual, I like men and women, but that means everything in between too. Like I like literally I could be attracted to
Yeah.
non-binary people. I could be attracted to trans people. Like it just for me means pansexual. That's how
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
And then pansexual came out and I think I was just so used to calling myself bisexual that it just stuck with me. And it took me a while to like come to terms with being bisexual and calling myself that and feeling comfortable calling myself that. So then when pansexual came, because we're, in high school and stuff, I don't really think pansexual was a thing. And if
Yeah, if it was a very vague word that, like,
yeah,
nobody
we didn't have
knew.
like the
Yeah.
internet at our fingertips like we
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
So I just got used to calling myself bisexual, and that's just what I identify as. But I mean, technically, we're both pansexual, I guess, if we want to say
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah, so I guess, like, yeah, by definition, I'm pansexual, but it's, like, also language is fluid, and I think that the meaning of words not I think, I know that the meaning of words change over time,
mm-hmm,
especially with the internet and with slang and blah, blah, blah culture, and
mm-hmm.
so, whatever. Bisexual means pansexual to me and to
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, just get over it.
Yeah. But there is a lot of like biphobia, bi-erasure in the LGBTQ community. And I think that's something that we've both dealt with
Mhm.
and has made it hard. And I obviously we're not comparing struggles with, anyone else in the community,
Yeah,
but this is just what we know. And I feel
yeah,
like we've both had issues being single in LA, trying to date women, and they're just not interested because you're bisexual and they think you're going to leave them for a man, or they have these preconceived ideas of you, or someone maybe cheated on them with a man or
yeah.
whatever. And so there's a lot of lesbians on their apps that are like no bisexuals, swipe left if
Mhm.
you're bisexual.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating and really hard and kind of like turned me off from the queer apps, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do feel like the bi community is often, and yeah, same disclaimer, it's not to say like it's any more or any less than other groups, but it is often like erased out of the community.
Yeah, or not
Be-
taken
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, like you're not gay enough or
Yeah.
like
But then you're not straight enough for the
yeah, so then where
straights.
do we fit?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, where are we supposed to go? But I think it's also hard for us specifically, and I'm sure for a lot of people, because I'm in a heteronormative relationship
yeah,
and you are dating a non-binary person, but they look like a man.
they look like a straight man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard. Well, for me it's hard because if I go to LGBTQ events, I feel like I don't belong, or people
Mhm.
think I don't belong because I'm holding hands with a man.
Yeah.
And even our friend who's dating a trans man has
Yeah.
gone to like gay bars.
And she's
Yeah,
bisexual.
or
Like
pansexual. I think she
she's
considers herself
pansexual. Yeah.
pan. But they've been to gay bars before and have had people comment and be like, "Why are you guys here?"
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people exist that aren't just gay.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you going to, as a marginalized person in society, further marginalize people within your own community? And that's like the biggest thing that is like to me wild because it's like if you've experienced like, you know, other people judging you for who you are, why would you judge somebody else for who they are? Or like
Yeah.
assume.
Or
Like,
assume, yeah,
yeah.
just don't assume. And
Yeah.
also, I understand like queer spaces should be preserved for queer people.
Yeah.
But my partner really supports me in being queer and wants to not hinder that part of me. Like he's very accepting of that and and celebratory about that. So if I want him to go to a queer space with me, he's supporting me and
Yeah.
that should be okay. Like
Yeah, it should be.
yeah, but
Well, that brings me up to my QOD.
oh, your question of the day?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
so smart.
I know.
If a bi person is dating a straight person, is the straight person in a queer relationship?
That's a good question there, buddy.
That was a good that right there.
That right there,
That good question.
that's a good question right there, bud. Um, okay. I think my opinion, which I haven't really thought too much about this,
Well,
but
I just brought up the question today, so
well, my opinion is I feel like it takes two queer people to be in a queer relationship.
Okay.
But I but I don't know because technically if you're like a trans person, say you're a
Mm-hmm.
trans man
Yeah.
and you're straight, you're dating women only.
Yeah.
You're still queer,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. That's hard.
So that's a queer relationship. If a trans person is dating a bi person, that's a queer relationship. Or it seems like societally more of a queer relationship.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's like yeah.
But what about you? Because dating a non binary person, do you consider that a queer relationship?
I think it absolutely is.
Yeah.
I think non-binary just isn't in the LGBTQ acronym yet, but it's definitely in the plus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, we can't get the whole alphabet in here. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
crazy. But
Um
yeah.
so yeah, but I don't know because like technically so the T is for trans and so trans people that's an issue of sex, not sexuality.
Right.
And so is gender.
I
So
think
it's
it's
like
all
or
very
I mean, gender is
complex.
not sex, but it's not sexuality.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
It's
it's
all very
complex,
complex. I
it's
think
nuanced.
everyone's a little queer,
Yeah, I think everybody's a little bi.
you know? That's
I
just
feel like this part of the conversation was better the first time we said it.
It's okay.
That's okay. But
Um,
we this is what we think. And I think that in that way, then it is a queer relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think, because
Yeah.
it's an interesting topic to talk about. But I did want to ask you,
Mhm.
because I know you used to throw these parties, like these queer
Mhm.
parties called Girlfriends LA,
Yeah.
and you'd have
Not
like,
sponsored.
yeah, and you'd have
By
these
myself.
you'd have these queer parties at bars, or you'd have like little art shows, or just anything really, and it was queer, like mostly women, but queer anybody could come to Girlfriends and just meet other queer people.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool, but I know, like, how did you feel dating like a man at the time, and hosting those events? Like, did you feel like people were
Yeah. So I mean, at the time I was dating somebody else, and that was somebody who identified as male too. So it was even more so, and this was also pre-pandemic. So I think most of the time I wouldn't even introduce him as my boyfriend. Like if he came to the events, he would just be like a friend of mine, and he seemed kind of gay, uh, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think like part of that is like internalized shame of like not shame, but like embarrassment of like, oh, maybe I feel like I'm not queer enough
Mhm.
if I show that side of myself or something like that.
Yeah.
But the point of the events was like to make friends and not it wasn't like a dating party or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
more of like we're here to make friends with other queer people. And I started this because there was a lack of lesbian bars in the city
Yeah. There's
and
still,
lack of meaning zero.
I think there's
Um
one now. It
yeah,
just
there's one or
opened.
like there's two maybe. I
We
don't
need to
know.
go, but
Yeah, we should go. But
there was
it's
no space for us, really.
there wasn't. And so I wanted to create a space and I did it to meet queer friends. Um queer, yeah. In any case, yeah, I mean it's always felt a little bit weird and it's always felt like I felt like people were judging me, whether they were or not, who
Mhm.
knows? But
Like,
like
you're not gay enough to do this.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, and people would sort of make little comments like, "Oh, like you're dating a guy, but you're doing these events, haha." Like kinda but not
Yeah.
like but like as a, like a joke, not as like a
Yeah.
but it still felt a little bit like
People are still thinking about it.
judgy, yeah,
Yeah.
or something. But now I think the pandemic has made it there's been more of a dialogue about bisexuality and
Mhm.
specifically bisexual women who are dating straight men
Yeah.
and like what that means about your sexuality. And so I think that there's, yeah, just like having that dialogue that's out on the internet, like more people are aware of it, more people are talking about it. And I think that like toxicity of it is changing.
Mhm.
And my more recent events that I've had, like I've introduced my partner and I think I'll continue to do that, like if it comes up.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we're
Yeah.
changing, we're evolving.
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah, if it's close to free or if it's like $10 a
Yeah.
month, that's like $5
That's
each.
five
It's not
dollars
that
each.
bad.
That's fine. Okay. So,
So, yeah. Um, being queer, we talked about the girlfriends
oh, I
thing.
was saying, I remember. Yeah, and I feel like being bisexual and trying to date women, I just feel like is really hard, because especially the lesbian community
Mhm.
seems to have an issue with us, and not everybody obviously, but
A lot of
uh
people hate us
a lot of
or
people.
they're biphobia.
Biphobia is real, because even on the apps and stuff, like, we couldn't find, I was trying to date a woman this whole
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but I matched with my partner like a year ago, and right after I matched with him, I turned my settings to women only.
Oh.
So he like sneaked on in there, but it was really hard dating women because they think you're going to leave them for a man, or
Mhm.
they just have these preconceived ideas about you. And I mean, I dealt with that with
Yeah, so there was this, like, crazy girl, and I hate the term crazy girl, but she
She
was
was
actually a crazy
she was a
girl.
crazy girl.
Yeah.
She was poly. She let me know that in the beginning, and I wasn't looking for anything serious, so I was like, all right, well, that's fine. And she's like, I have another partner that I see. I just want to be open about that with you. And I was like, cool, so do I. And it
Yeah.
happens to be my current partner now.
Yeah,
But
but you guys were not serious
we
at the
weren't
time.
serious.
Yeah.
We weren't planning on being serious. So I was like, yeah, I have a partner on the side as well,
Yeah.
thinking it's fine because you're poly, you shouldn't care.
Yeah.
But she found out I was a man and went off on me pretty much like, I can't believe you uh you know date men and like girls have left me in the past for a man, and you just you know only call me when you can't get real dick. That's what she said. You
Uh,
only call me when you can't get real dick.
I thought she said call me when you want real
No,
dick.
she didn't. She
Okay.
said you only call me when you can't get real dick. And at this point, I had only been seeing her for a week. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
I'm
It
like,
was
"What are
like
you
a
even
very
talking
short
about?"
thing. But I remember her being really intense in the beginning, like really like
She was in love with me.
yeah.
Well, at least she made it seem like that. Um,
Yeah. I don't know what she was. She was infatuated, but like
but also hated me because I was
yeah. Because you're
bi.
bi, yeah.
But it ended weird. Like, I ended it with her, and then she just randomly showed up at my door.
So
So,
yeah, that's why you have a ring camera
I have a
now.
Ring camera because of her. Yeah. So
Yeah, do you remember what she said when she showed up at your door? Like, what was
because I
the
blocked her on everything because she was, like, just being insane
mean?
and
Yeah.
calling me from different numbers and just yeah, being mean. And so I was like, I don't like, we've been seeing each other for less than 2 weeks at this point. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And she showed up at my door and was like, "So you're just going to block me?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here, you fucking weirdo?" And she lived like pretty far away, so she drove all the way to my house.
So she had the code. Oh,
Yeah, because she had come over a
yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
So that I learned my lesson not to give people. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't know
Yeah.
not to give
Yeah.
people the code, but
Right.
whatever. So yeah, my experience dating in LA hasn't been the best when it comes to women, but
Yeah, I feel like she was like the worst example.
yeah.
Like,
I was like,
she seemed really
"Oh."
normal and cool though. Like when I met her,
The
she
first
seemed
time,
like,
yeah, the first couple times we
yeah.
hung out, she was normal and cool, and I was like, "Okay." And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of liked her at first,
Yeah.
but whatever. I'm with a beautiful person now, so it
Are we
doesn't
allowed to
matter.
say his name?
Yeah, Kadar is his name. He's
I feel like
a
we're both like avoiding saying our partner's
I
name for some
know,
reason. I don't
I
know why.
know. Well, if you want to go creep on him, he's on Instagram and he raps and he's really good.
He's a
He's
rapper.
a rapper and he's really good.
He's amazing.
At Kadar Vima, or what is it? Kadar Vimana? Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't look at it right now. So, yeah, have you had experience with women not wanting to date you?
I've had like comments made at me
Mm.
where it's like, I don't know, just like I've had the situation where it's like I tell them that I'm bi it on the date and then it seems like they've lost interest.
Yeah.
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 Like you can see it like in their face that they're
Yeah.
just like,
Like, oh,
"Oh."
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Um,
It's hard out here.
it do be
It do be
hard.
hard. Um,
So we're gonna close it with a question of the fun questions.
yeah, we have a game called Truth or Drink, and Kirsten actually found this during the panini
The panini.
because we were all going crazy, and she would call her friends, including me, and we'd have like we'd be drinking on video and just
Hmm.
like playing this game.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people did that sort of like Zoom, like video chat parties where we would drink together at home
Hmm.
because we didn't want to be alone drinking.
Yeah, we were all losing our minds
Okay.
slowly.
So we prepared this ahead of time because I think we thought that this is why the fucking thing crashed.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up the questions on another tab. I still don't know if that's why,
I
but
don't
in
either.
any
But
case, we
we're
copied
not.
and pasted them this time, and so we got the questions prepared.
Yeah, we're not messing around.
And my question for you is, have you ever feared for your life or safety while drinking or on drugs? Tell us, take us to the scene.
Boy, have I.
Boy.
To be honest with you, Kirsten, I'm surprised I'm still alive. So I don't do drugs like this anymore because I'm scared of them. I've become like
Yeah,
super
Allie's
anxious.
dad, so don't be worried.
Yeah, if you're my dad, don't listen. Don't worry, I'm not doing them to this day. But
also, the episode ends now. Goodbye, Dad.
Bye, Dad. Stop listening now, okay? No, whatever. My dad's cool. No, I can think of two different scenarios. One is really short. Me and my friend did Molly on Halloween one time.
How old were you?
I think we were like 23 or 22 or something. And we did Molly, went to this bar, and at one point I just started sweating so bad. And I went outside, and it was really cold outside, but I was sweating my ass off, smoking cigarette after cigarette. And you know I don't smoke cigarettes. So
Molly makes you want it, I think.
It does. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, why am I so hot right now and it's cold? But the one time that I really was like, I don't think I've done Molly since this time, actually, because I did Molly, but I think it was cut with something else. Oh, and we found it at this like dubstep show in Pittsburgh. Like, it was really sketchy.
Oh yeah, you used to be like somewhat of a raver, didn't you?
I was, yeah, back in the day, like back when I was like 19, 20.
That's so funny.
21. So now I'm like, I can't listen to that music because it just reminds me of that time. But I took some drugs from this guy at this dubstep show. And I had went to this show to see, I think it was Datsik that was performing. And I went to it just to see Datsik. And then I took these drugs. I think it was cut with something bad because I got really sick. I had to leave the show. I was sitting outside on the on the curb.
Oh my God.
While my friends were inside, like, having the time of their lives. And I was, like, again, chain smoking cigarettes, trying not to throw up. And then I swear I was up for 48 hours.
Oh, there's probably fucking meth in there.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was meth. I was up for 48 hours. I thought, like, smoking weed would make me go to sleep, but it just reignited it.
That's so weird.
My heart was pounding, and I had to, like, we drove from Pittsburgh to Ohio, and I was just like wide awake.
Did any of your friends take the same thing?
Yeah, my one friend took the same thing, but she was just like, I don't know, it's fine. Like, I don't know.
But they all could have been different pills, like.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I'm pretty sure that's the last time I did like drugs besides weed. Or, well,
have you done like coke and much?
No, okay, just kidding. That's the last time I did Molly.
Yeah. Well, Molly, I feel like maybe our era of like ecstasy was kind of weird. Like I had tried it when I was in high school.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and the first time I did it was really fun. We were just like listening to music.
The first time I did it was the time of my life.
We were just like at my friend's house, and her mom was like gone for like several hours, and she had this really nice house in like the suburbs. So like we just had like a big house, and she had like a record player, and there was like us and three other friends, and we were just like eating Go-Gurt because she had like younger sisters, so they had like the fun little kids snacks. That's and so cute. Just like eating kids snacks and like talking and like I don't know, listening to good music and like feeling lotion and just like that.
The feelings. The first time you take Molly is always the best time.
Yeah.
But I remember when I took it with my roommates in Ohio, and I remember I was drinking orange juice. And I dropped the glass and it spilled all over my feet. And I was like, that felt so good. I wasn't even mad. I was like, "Whoa, that was so refreshing for my feet."
Yeah, see, so, like, that was good, and then I've had other times where I felt like that, but then there's been times where, like, it was cut with something.
Yeah, if
Like,
it's cut with
you can
something,
tell.
it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah,
And
it's not the same.
so now I think if I ever did it again, which I really don't see myself doing it, if I ever did it again, I'd get one of those little test kits. I
Yeah,
think if you're gonna do drugs, you should be safe about it,
but
kids. I mean, adults.
most of the test kits, I feel like, tests for fentanyl, which is important, but, like.
I think you can get test kits that'll tell you if the Molly's pure.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
If that Molly's
Because
pure,
fentanyl wasn't even like
a thing,
around,
yeah.
and there was test kits for Molly.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely wanna test for fentanyl, but, like, fentanyl?
Fentanyl.
Yeah,
Fentanyl.
fentanyl. We
Yeah.
don't want that,
No.
but we also wanna see if that Molly's pure.
Yeah.
In any
Um
case, that
sorry
was my
if
question.
sorry if anyone in my family is listening to this, but I promise I'm okay now. Um
Drugs, drugs,
drugs are
drugs, drugs.
bad. I have
Please
one
don't
for
judge me
you.
even though you've never met me. I'm a good positive influence on Allie.
Yeah, you are. You are. I have a question for you. It's a little dark.
Oh god.
But I want to know. How
Oh.
often do you think about your own death? How and when do you suspect it will happen?
Oh, so this is funny because it's not funny, but I think the fear of your own death is something that a lot of people have,
Yeah.
but I don't really think about it.
Really?
No.
I think about it all the time.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think if I did, maybe I could fixate on it, but yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think about it a lot. I think about other things around me dying, but not
Oh,
myself.
okay.
Like, I'm, like, constantly worried that like, my cat will die
Mhm.
or my boyfriend will die or
Yeah.
something, but I don't think about myself dying.
Interesting. I think about everybody and myself. Like, I'm pretty sure in my past life I died from a car wreck because I dream about it all the time.
Oh, that's creepy.
I know. I know.
That, like, gave me the chills for a
Ew,
second.
I know. I hate it.
How often do you think
What's it like to
but
be
well, hold on. How and when do you suspect it will happen? Because oh yeah, because I don't really have a suspicion. But like, if I had to say, honestly, like people in my family live pretty long, so I probably like die.
just of old age?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I hope you die of old age, and I hope it's after I die.
yeah. Well, but then I'll be sad. So you want me to be sad? Is that what you're?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
Alright.
like, yeah. I mean, I think it's not to say I'm not like afraid of like bad things happening to me. It's just I
Yeah.
don't
You
know.
just don't really think about it.
I don't, but I think
What's
about
that like?
well.
What's it
It
like
means
to
I'm thinking about my cat dying all the time. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that
I always think
sucks.
about my cat dying.
I know, I think about my dog dying all the time. It sucks. Okay, well, sorry that was such a dark question.
Death
thought-
and
Yeah,
drugs.
death and drugs.
We're hardcore.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all our bisexual bodies.
Our bisexual
Our
bodies.
bisexual bodies.
And just everyone else, unless you're homophobic.
Yeah.
And we don't like you, and we don't know why you're here.
Yeah, honestly. Like anybody in the LGBTQ plus, even allies. But if you're not an ally, why the fuck are you listening?
Yeah, go away.
Go home.
Go home. We don't want you here.
Crawl back into the hole you came from.
Yeah, you're gross.
You probably smell bad too.
Probably. Follow us on Instagram at Thank You So Much Pod.
Mm-hmm. And Twitter.
Twitter, Thank You So Much Podcast. Actually, Twitter's TYSM Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wouldn't let me do the whole thing.
But now you know our acronyms.
But yeah,
TYSM.
TYSM babies.
So if you want to like refer to us to your friends and you're just like, hey, have you been listening to TYSM? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute. Also, we have an email address.
Yes.
Which is thankyousomuchpod@gmail.com.
That is correct.
If you want to ask us questions, we will answer them for you. If you want us to cover any specific topics, we'll do it.
Or if you just want to be like, hey guys, you're beautiful.
Yeah, just say hi.
Yeah.
But don't send us hate mail because
don't be mean.
We're sensy.
We'll probably cry.
Yeah. But that's it. So
Love you
love
guys.
you. Peace
Love you. Peace
out.
out. Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.